Time to test your skills. If you claim to be really good with a commander, you should prove it. I'm talking about solos here because if you're actually as good as you say you are, you don't need to rely on your allies' help, right? I will use official mutations because most people are familiar with them. There are 4 levels: quiz, midterm, final exam, and dissertation. Quiz is for anyone who wants to test their skills with this commander. Midterm is for people who are decent at this commander. Final exam might be difficult even for seasoned veterans, and dissertation is for the best of the best. In addition, there will be several skill tests. You'll be asked to demonstrate skills that high-level players should be able to do. These won't necessarily be mechanical skills like Alrak's 1QE2C. They are more like tactics that are often used in B+4 or higher. These tests will generally be more flexible as you can choose which mutation to play. You cannot just win though. You have to demonstrate the skill. For example, if the test requires you to clear the map so reanimators stop spawning, you cannot just win by outlasting the trickles. There are 2 broad categories, multitasking and head-on. Multitasking tests, you guessed it, test your multitasking skills. The mutations for the tests are based around mutators that require you to be in multiple places at once. Head-on tests generally test your ability to deal with the mission, but with mutators that make the enemy stronger. In general, these don't require you to be in different parts of the map to deal with the mutators. Testing rules. None of the tests will have slim pickings or microtransactions because those are unfun mutators. No mutators that the commander is generally bad against, for example, Zagara versus Missile Command or Tychus versus Killbots. No notoriously difficult mutations like Aggressive Recruitment or Coldest the Void. Those are at the PhD level. For the player, no cheesing. This means no dead-based cheese or float-based cheese. Sniping Scythe of Amon's livers from the back is not considered cheesing. Level 15, 90 mastery, so no 180 mastery cheats. And of course, regular solo rules, which means you can't load from replay after encountering the enemy, you can't use your allies' resources, you can't change the game speed. You can, however, choose the enemy comp. You get more bragging rights for harder comps. Fenix is a strong commander for head-on mutations. He can also take on multitasking mutations fairly well thanks to his suits. There are both multitasking and head-on tests for his 2 playstyles, Death Ball and Champ Focused. You may use P3 for any of these tests, but since P3 can be used for both styles, the style you use must match the prestige. A champ-focused strat should be used for P2 tests, and a death ball should be used for P0 or P1 tests. Let's start with P0 or P1. First, the head-on tests. The quiz is Chilling Adaptation. This will test your unit control while defending ships. Your suit energy management will also be important for getting recruitments to the battlefield. The midterm is Delivery Guaranteed. Test your knowledge of the shuttle's patterns. How well can you deal damage to the shuttles without Caudalis? The final exam is Equivalent Exchange. How's your raw strength without Caudalis? We know Caudalis is awesome, but what if you can't really use him? The dissertation is Train of Pain. Double-edged means Caudalis is going to have to step aside. How good is your carrier control? Yes, that is a thing because if you don't have good control, your interceptors are gonna go boom. Now let's go on to multitasking. Quiz is Futile Resistance. How good are you at soloing lock and load? Can you deal with slow props? The midterm is Spectre of Death. How will you maintain map control against the reanimators? The final exam is Breath of Destruction. Test your knowledge of the escort wave patterns. And the dissertation is Radiation Zone. How will you destroy the objectives without getting infected? And now we have the head-on tests for P2. The quiz is Hell Train. Caudalis goes burr, right? The midterm is Dance Dance Evolution. This is similar to Breath of Destruction, but with P2 this time. How will you minimize the effects of Moment of Silence? The final exam is Call It a Comeback. If you have to fight a ground cop, that's fine. It'll still be challenging. The dissertation is Memorable Boss. Can you deal with the heroes even if they keep silencing you? We move on to the multitasking tests. The quiz is Like Swatting Insects. How will you deal with Missile Command? Fenix has no problems against alien incubation, right? For the midterm, we have certain demands. How fast can you clear the map? How's your focus on the minimap? The final exam is Doomsday Report. You'll have to juggle many tasks. Props, crystals, attack waves, and map clearing. And the dissertation is Bad Weather. I considered different Void Rift mutations, but this one is a good chance for you to demonstrate how to clear Rifts to Core Hall shards with Caudalis. Now the skill tests. You can use any prestige for the skill tests. First skill is full clearing Temple of the Past quickly. Quick Killers is the map for that. You can try Grave Danger if you want a slightly easier version. The next skill test is winning against killbots that you can't stop, and that will be on Locked and Loaded. It's basically speedrunning LNL with a mutator that forces you to act quickly. The next one is to beat a Dead of Night mutation. Fenix isn't an IDEF commander, so this may be harder than it looks. The last two are speedruns basically, but since we're not trying to break any records here, we're just gonna go for decent times. The first one is to beat Scythe of Amon in under 13 minutes. The easiest one to do this is probably Hello My Friend, but you can choose from other Scythe of Amon mutations as well. And the other one is Void Thrashing. Can you beat this in under 12 minutes? I did this in just under 10 on Call of the Void, so I think 12 is a reasonable target. You can choose any Void Thrashing mutation. The ones listed here are perhaps the easier ones for this skill test. So, Fenix main, are you up to the challenge? Here's a summary of the tests. For head-on, the quiz is Chilling Adaptation, the midterm is Delivery Guaranteed, the final exam is Equivalent Exchange, and the dissertation is Train of Pain. For multitasking, the quiz is Futile Resistance, midterm is Spectre of Death, final exam is Breath of Destruction, and dissertation is Radiation Zone. For P2, head-on, the quiz is Hell Train, midterm is Dance Dance Evolution, final exam is Call It a Comeback, dissertation is Memorable Boss. For multitasking, the quiz is Like Swatting Insects, the midterm is Certain Demise, final exam is Doomsday Report, and dissertation is Bad Weather. For the skill tests, we have full clear Temple of the Past quickly, win against killbots, beat a Dead of Night mutation, beat a Scythe of Amon mutation in under 13 minutes, and beat a Void Thrashing mutation in under 12 minutes. And that's the end of the tests. Like and subscribe if you want more tests for other commanders. Comment your thoughts on the challenges. If you want to submit a test for review, please go to my Discord. And people who complete this will get their names and their runs or links to their runs listed on my Hall of Fame sheet. You can check it out. Thanks for stopping by, and class dismissed.